exactly why I have to make sure that every single time welcome to another episode of the Modern Black Man. I am joined by the one and only boss of all bosses, Lil A. What's happening?
What's happening?
Man,
Glad to have you.
man, I'm happy that you're here, man. You bring a lot to the table. I have a lot of content that I got to create with you. You give me a lot to think about. And today I've got 5 different areas that I want to talk about. I want to talk about loyalty. I want to talk
Okay.
about family, community, morality, and reality, because I think these are the 5 balls that I'm juggling out here in these vlogger streets. So let's get it.
Let's get it.
Loyalty is so important to me. I think that I'm a different person if I question your loyalty. I think that I act very differently if I'm unsure about a person because I don't really let people in unless I trust them a little bit. Like I hope most people are. With that being said, do you think it's something in the water? Do you think it's the culture? Do you think it's the time where people feel loyalty is optional?
Yeah, I agree. I'm real big on loyalty, and I feel like uh, loyalty is a real big thing, and lots of trust comes into loyalty.
It's a byproduct. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Doing these shows and making relations and connections with people, you meet a lot of really interesting people. I've met some good people, but I've also met a lot of people where it's just like I'm like surprised, and I'll be honest, I think I'm just offended. They don't have a grasp on the last area we're gonna talk about, reality. They just feel that going through the motions is enough, and their disloyalty won't be noticed. And I just don't understand what makes people feel so comfortable operating like this. It brings up a lot of thoughts, but that's where I begin. I just don't know why being loyal to someone feels like an obligation. Like that's how you move in the world. You're loyal to people because that's your code of conduct, not because you're incentivized by it. For me,
true. Like you said, I honestly 100 agree with you. Because it don't matter what you're doing, what kind of ball game you playing, be gang banging, it can be business partners, it can be a relationship, it can be all of the above. Loyalty, like I said, loyalty is a big thing. It comes with a lot of trust, and you gotta know who you laying in bed or playing with for real, when it comes to all those.
yeah, that's straight up, man. And it's I like you keep saying trust because for me, once you have a foundation of loyalty and you can take the step of trust, you can build anything. And whatever you build is largely undeniable or indestructible. And I see watching other people out here how the integrity of their project is really ruined and taken away from because they don't have a firm foundation. They're
Yeah,
literally going out here and just operating.
that right. What you just said again, foundation, and it goes back to trust. Because if you go back and look at police officers, if me and you was a police officers, we had to be out here patrolling on the streets. Can I trust you in my life, or can you trust me with yours?
It's mutual.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that I think that you and I probably see a mutual vision because when you actually have some real loyalty, whether it comes through gang banging or associations and the job, you can do things that you can't do without that connection. And because these people don't have it, they're operating blind. And I see every single time the outcome's the same. That trust, that foundation, that life that's being able to be put into whatever it is that you're doing is what I'm after. So I mean, I try to make a good business out of all my connections. I mean, I try to treat people with as much respect and dignity as I can because I really want to come back to the table. I'll never take an interview or a connection with somebody that I just want to hit one time. I think that that's the beginning of the bad business before we get to family. I think a lot of times people go into this vlogging or even potting in a one night stand mentality. Like, I'm out with the whole shit,
Nah,
you
I
know?
ain't either.
Mhm. That's why I like family. In our next topic, I think that there's a lot of ways to view that. And I don't necessarily come from a firm or strong family foundation, but I believe I understand how it's formed. I think that, like you said, you can make family through people that give you loyalty, through people that have that integrity and they take that step. What do you think
Yeah.
is key to solid familial bonds? Like, how do you really build family?
Well, you pretty much summed it up. I mean, family family ain't got to be family. You know,
Mm,
I got a couple of homies right now that's not even brothers that is really like a brother to me.
mhm.
So it's, I mean, I guess along the way can be a bond. That's pretty much what it is. But I do got actual family members where, shoot, it's been plenty of times at grandma's house.
Uh,
It's like three families in that mud.
right.
I, s- so I got cousins that's brothers, and I don't even claim them as cousins. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we was in there stacked up, laying across the floor. Grandpa used to come on drunk, yeah, even though he was at work,
Right,
you
right,
know.
right. But
So,
real family though. Real,
yeah,
you know?
trip, get out the way, dummy. Oh, fish out, fool. I mean, hey, I could tell you some.
Right, right. But I mean, I think you kind of painting the picture.
Yeah,
Family is family. It is what it is, and it can't be replicated. You know what I mean? It
yeah.
can only be, and once you find it and you have it, you can use it.
I mean, look, I done seen two brothers go head to toe, middle street banging.
Damn, yeah, and that's real.
You can't. That's something you just can't break up. That's something that's family. That's family issues. You can. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Right. And with family issues, you got family business though too.
Yeah,
Hmm. And I think it kind of goes back to our first area of loyalty. When you ascend to the level of family, everything else is subsumed. So now this little pyramid we building, I guess, you got a foundation of loyalty, you got the foundation of family, and I mean, once you make those relationships, you can move to the next level. We talked about was community.
family. Family. You can sit there and fight family and hug it
Right,
out and say I love you, but f you later.
right.
Don't like you for 2 weeks. Call each other, have a drink, and be cool again. That's family. That's that loyal bond that you talking about.
And it stacks on each other. You making me see the vision. Like it stacks on each other. People now have such flaky and fakey relationships. It's flimsy. It's not even real.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. I've never done anybody like that. I've never had temporary connections or looked at someone short sighted. I definitely see in the way people live how it doesn't serve them. Because our next area community, because I think that when people see how it is you are with the people that you bring into your life, it grows your world, and that's where life really begins. When you can interact with people in the house, in your neighborhood around you, and it grows, and instead of it just being your house, your block, your neighborhood, it can be your city. It could be more than that. And I think that's what I'm really clinging on to because I've experienced that and I'm in a process now of refounding a lot of things.
Hmm.
You
You
know,
said, yeah,
just build that foundation again because, like I said, I don't think I fall out with people. I'm real quick to let people have their own feelings and whatever it is, but it's the connection. It's doing right by people and having them do right by you. Because there's no point in a relationship if people aren't going to be right by you or you can't trust them, they can't trust you. That shit adversarial. That's gangbanging.
yeah, you're
You know?
right.
But community can lift you up. And I know that the modernblackman.com, I have had real community over the years and multiple communities. And I continue to try to build that. Like I said, I'm refounding. I didn't refocus everything, went from the East Coast to the West Coast, and now I'm down south and just kind of continuing to grow things and solidify my foundation because my goal is to serve my community. My goal is to have restoration of our next area of morality. I'm trying to make sure that we are doing the right thing. We are being our brother's keepers. We are honoring each other. That's what my goal is here. I provide information through my platforms, so my blogs, on that podcast, et cetera, because people do hear the information. Passively, they learn, and I just want to continue to invest in my vision. So, I mean, what do you think morals are? Where do they come from? Are they divine? Are they man-made?
Honestly, morals, I feel like should be divine,
Mm,
but they are man-made.
that's interesting.
Who says that you have to follow somebody else's morals because your morals could be different?
Right, right. I mean, and even morality, it seems so universal because thou shalt not kill, but there's a time to kill.
Yeah. And I had this interesting conversation
Mm.
with my grandmother.
Wisdom.
Yeah, it was, and I asked her, God is good, right? And she said, yes, all the time. I said, okay, so if God is good and the devil's a fallen angel, don't
Mhm.
them makes them brothers and him still an angel, even though he fell?
True. What did Mama say?
She said, yeah, they are brothers. I said, so that makes him good though, right? And she then kind of she set back a little bit. I said, because I asked this question because in the Bible it says that God is in you.
God is what?
In you.
Yeah, He is in us.
So if he's in us, does that make them an actual God?
Okay. The first commandment. Now, don't let me quote the Ten Commandments, but God is a jealous God. So
Right.
there are no other gods in front of Him,
He's
and
a hold on. God is a jealous God, right?
yeah,
But he's in you. That
yeah.
makes you a God.
I have God in me, and I use the God in me for things. But my morality, I would never be able to call or presume myself as a God. I know out east for years, cats have been calling themselves God, right? They've been
Yeah.
calling themselves that. And I think that's a little bit of self-worship from my moral perspective because I
I'm
don't
about to
want
answer I'm about to answer that question because technically you are a God.
to tell me.
You are worshiping the spirit of God. So God is a spirit.
The God power and divinity is so powerful. I see what you're saying. When you have it in you, it's unstoppable. It's indestructible. It is the most powerful force. So the way I'm interpreting what you're saying, no way to dilute God power because God power is absolute.
So now that if that's the case,
Hmm.
and we go by the Ten Commandments, which is the actual law, that makes divine law, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So if that's the divine law, we should not kill, we should not steal. That's the only things we should not be doing on this earth right now. Those are
Well,
the
no
laws.
coveting the wife, no, observing the Sabbath. It's
Yeah,
the rules. It's the
yeah,
Constitution, if you will. Mhm.
right. The Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
All right. So when you're doing that, the actual law, when you're going by, which one are you going by? Are you going by the government's law or are you going by the spirits?
Yo, Moses brought these down from Mount Sinai. And these were, oh, this is good. So these were laws, but God gave them to man. And like you said, God is in us. And that's why Moses was glowing when he came down.
We not worshiping God. We are worshiping the spirit.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. Like, I see what you're saying.
I mean, it's all in the Bible. If you
Yeah.
look at it, it says that when you're not working, He's in us. That
Mhm.
makes you a God, even though He's a jealous God.
Yeah.
So you gotta think about it. He's already gone and did what they say. So what can a spirit do? That's why I tell everybody else. I always believe in the higher power. I always believe in the higher spirit. But some things in the Bible, no. But but so on and so on.
Mhm.
Everybody say, like my grandma said when I said that was the Bible's real. Yeah, I get that. But who made the Bible?
Okay. Now,
Hear me out. Wait a minute.
yeah,
Hold on. Hear me out.
yeah.
Because I asked this. It says that's why I said. So if the Bible's real, who made the Bible? If you gotta think about it, the Catholics are making the Bibles.
Well, there's lots of authors. His disciples authored the Bible. Paul was in the Bible. Lots of people had their hand in the Bible. English King James made it popular
Hmm.
by translating all of these texts. And I think that's where a lot of us get it effed up. But historically,
You
the
got hundreds of different versions of Bibles.
yeah.
Say hundreds of different things
Hmm.
in different ways, meaning different things, saying the same thing.
Yeah, right. Because
Then you got
simplify what the Lord.
actual Jesus, Buddha, Allah, and whoever
Yahweh.
else. And like I said, whoever else
Yeah.
people are worshiping to.
See, but the Abrahamic religions cover your Judaism, your Christianity, and your Islam because it's a familial line from Abraham, and it goes through all three of those religions. Actually, Buddhism is kind of before and after because Buddhism was before Christ came to earth, but the stories from those Abrahamic religions predate Buddha. And then you have the spinoff of what Hinduism and Zoroastrianism and every other religion that we've had. So it is really hard because you had ancient Egyptians who were a polytheistic culture, largely worshiping what Re, like the sun god, and those hybrid gods that were mixed with animals. And the point I was making was that we bastardize the story, especially in America, because we want to make it racial. This is a story of family, and it starts in Africa. If you have you ever heard the three tribes theory
Yeah,
about Moses?
I heard some of it. Matter of fact, yeah, I think I have heard little bits and pieces of it. If I'm not mistaken. Probably
Because
refresh me.
yeah, the three tribes theory is beautiful because I think it brings the black man in America. I just wanted to say it like that, but it's our familiar story. Moses lived with the Egyptians. He was a Jew, and he ended up getting help from the Nubians. All three of these tribes lived in the same part of the world, and they had the same color skin because they had to be accepted or interchangeable amongst each other. So I just throw that out there because we don't look at this Christian story of the Palestinian Jew as a black man, but
Yeah.
Jesus was skin of clay, hair of wool. So if he didn't look like Tiger Woods, he probably looked somewhere between you and I. That's why I love the three tribes story because it brings it home fully. How can you live in a house full of Egyptians, be a Jew, but be accepted by the Nubians at the same time? How do you fit into all three tribes unless your skin fares? I don't see why we miss that and ignore that.
I didn't. Yeah, instead of skin of copper.
Skin of
If you
copper.
look at a penny, that's the closest thing you're gonna get to copper to me, which is brown.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hair of wool. If you think of wool, you think of curly, nappy.
Like a buffalo soldier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hair of wool.
Yeah.
uh,
So my boy got locks at least. I mean, he had curls popping, and I don't think Jerry curl was invented in the BC.
I mean, if you talk about hair of wool,
Skin of clay, no soul glow. And I say this because we misinterpret things intentionally, kind of what we was talking about earlier. We don't understand loyalty because we've lost morality. Because we've lost morality, our family, down to the unit, dissolves, is unstable, and it leads to the community dissolving and being unstable as well. Until we have restoration across the board, we will not get to morality.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
I just hope that our reality, our last topic, I hope it comes to a clear focus, and I hope that we can get all of our affairs in order because everything's wild right now.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You got people who didn't know it's a base in fucking Missouri, Air Force, the nuclear base at that. It's right on the damn Air Force. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I think it was Whiteman. Yeah, it's right there on the Missouri Air Force, right outside. Right. Matter of fact, it's right inside fucking Belton, Missouri. They used to have the Air Force. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, right there on the base. Nuclear base. But people didn't know it was a nuclear base.
That's where they dropped the nuclear bomb. They fly out of Basin, Missouri, in the middle of the country, so it's protected by the greatness of America, and they'll drop a nuke on your ass. But we have a trident defense or a triple defense system. Our nukes are coming out the ground, they're in the air, and they're in submarines. That's America. We got all the weaponry, yo. We got it.
But people just need to wake up because everybody just think it's a game. Like, oh, America can't get touched. Like, you got to think about it. It's been touched.
You talking about Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, it's been touched. Been touched. Yeah. Regardless of where it was, it's been touched.
Yeah. American Revolution.
With high security. So, not once, but a few times.
We've never been invaded. Just like I don't think China has ever been invaded. I could be wrong about that. Maybe Japan and Korea invaded them, but America's very unique because what you just said, we've been attacked a few times, right? Even when we were colonial, but no one's taking this land. They came over here and took the land.
Yeah.
So I just hope that
it's just like people think. I ain't gonna say people think. People just need to start reading and start paying attention and see what you can and can't do when people tell you how to clear your credit, when people tell you how to beat a court case, or people say this or that. Start going back and pay attention. Listen to the laws. Do you hear a law? Go get you a pen and paper and start writing that shit down and go back and read it. Read it, motherfucker. You'd be surprised what you can and what you can't do.
Right.
Because you can start representing. Fuck a lawyer. You don't even need a lawyer. Start representing yourselves. Catch reality.
I was about to say that's reality.
You catch the reality, because, bro, I'm telling you, it's so, bro. You ain't gotta go to school. No, you can go to YouTube. You can go right there. YouTube University. I'm just saying. YouTube can teach you a lot of shit. You got other apps like TikTok, Instagram's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Instagram got all type of crazy motherfuckers just sitting there wanting to teach you how to read a court case or teach you how to come up with, other type of shits, teach you trust laws and shit like that, everything in the whole 9 yards. Like this, open your eyes, catch reality, learn. Just start wanting to learn. I'm starting to learn some more shit every day.
Right. You nailed it on the head, though. People don't want to engage reality. They don't want to
Nah,
observe and acknowledge reality. They want to do all this false stuff, and
they
it's gonna
they trying to
unravel.
find it. They trying to go to the club or see how many bitches they can get, how many hoes they can get. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Or trying to fuck the next thing moving. Just like for the females, they trying to go to the club and shake their ass. Tuesday up on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The kids
Every
is at
week.
home with grandma, or with
Right.
their daddies. Daddy's trying to go to work. They done missed like 3 4 days. Check gonna be show because they can't find a babysitter. Now
Right.
he about to lose his job.
Right.
Like it's crazy.
We don't want to acknowledge what's real. Like, like how is it that we live in a time where our greatest fear is what's real?
Yeah.
We just want to stay away from anything that's consequential by giving ourselves more consequences. I just think that the reconciliation of everything we talked about is the key to our salvation. It's the key to what re refoundation. It's the key to just the refocus and getting things settled. How better would our lives be if we had our business in order? But we can't because there's so many distractions. There's so many falsehoods out there. There's so many pitfalls of not just successful men, but of all people. Just these distractions that we create instead of distractions that exist.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, because shaking your ass in the club, it could be cool. You could do that if it make you feel good, mama. But you do it every week, and you're doing it 3 4 days a week, and you wonder why your kids can't read.
Hey, they passing kids easy nowadays. Shit, if I can get past like this, like they was passing, like are they passing kids? Boy, I'm trying to tell you, niggas is probably graduated.
I'm upset about education right now because the young people, they're dull. I want any and everyone to hear this. There's things that we're doing that are harming our children. Not disciplining them is chief amongst them. I'm not an abusive person. I'm not trying to abuse children, but the lack of discipline is why our children are killing each other. And I've done a lot of episodes about this. Austin Metcalf is the latest example I can think of. These poor young people. That young man was slayed
I
because
agree. Homeschool,
mhm. You say you
but
old.
that's why we homeschool because
Mm,
that reason there. Um, I feel like a kid can be learning a lot more versus to sit in the classroom doing a subject every hour to the
mm,
hour, which you know they actually do learn a lot more because we be teaching the constitution laws, we be teaching trust laws or equity and stuff like that with our kids.
mhm.
Like what uh my 5 year old, she was doing preschool.
You
We
teaching
was
the
homeschooling
baby law?
the 9 year olds, up to 9 year olds and up. Yeah, they be teaching them all that. But my 5 year old, we was learning with her how to do sign language.
Solid.
So I mean, put it like this: I feel like it's an excuse if a parent say they can't homeschool their kid
Mm,
because you can get paid doing homeschool,
yeah.
which is we working on that now. So uh That's not a, it shouldn't be an issue. On top of that, while these kids is going to school for 8 hours, my kids is only going to school for 3 to 5. No, about 3 to 4 hours, and learning the same as much as your kid don't learn today, the whole day.
because they have the distraction of the 20 something other kids that are in their classroom, and then the teachers that are totally teaching a curriculum to a test that the kids are going to fail anyhow. That's my frustration with
Yeah,
education right now. The
yeah,
young,
and it's crazy because they sign. It's crazy because they get signed a teacher.
Mhm.
They do have an actual teacher through the school that we do go to through, and yeah, it's based in Wichita, Kansas, and I think that's where they are. And yeah, it's very good. They on with the kids. They can help you, teach you, tell you what they need in emails and what's going on. Hey, they did that too fast. Go back and have them redo that assignment again. I don't think they catch on to it. With whoopty woo, bazi blah, all type of crazy stuff. So we love it.
yeah. And you'll see the fruits of your labor when your kid, if your kid ever goes to a school system, because you're going to see your kid is
Yeah,
at this level and the other kids are likely to catch up.
yeah. Like if you don't know how to do something, they like send the parents. The background, like the so on teach how to do the question or so on like that. Like it breaks the question down on how to do it. Like for a math problem, it'll break she'll give you problems and it'll break the problem down in that order of how it's supposed to be worked out to give you the right answer.
Right. Actually teaching.
Yeah, so you can teach your kid how to do
Right.
it.
Right. It's missing in the often in the school system, and you just got to remember that I see it. These kids are behind, and there's no way to instill the discipline or focus that they need to learn what they've missed. I blame the pandemic a little bit, but I'm feeling as if
you
it's the
know, I don't
created.
blame I don't blame the pandemic at
No.
all. No, because honestly, I feel like these kids, for real, this comes back to reality. And the old lady was just talking about this not too long ago, how they've been trying to shut the school system, the board of education down,
Hmm.
and they've been still trying to shut the board of education down. So when they shut the board of education down, what are your kids gonna learn? How are they
When they
gonna
get
learn?
rid of the DOE, all that money is going to go to your local ed, and it could be better. Absolutely. I think it could be better because decentralizing those funds could do tremendous things for school districts like Wichita or any local. Yes, I could see that. I just I'm a teacher, so when those kids are in my classroom, it's sad because they're behind. They'll be in fifth grade and they're still missing things that they should have gotten third grade. And it's not just the pandemic, because that's an easy escape, right? It's
Yeah,
that we don't have the ability to, and I'm not trying to whoop kids. There's no consequences anymore. Kids do not respect their teachers. They do not respect adults. They really don't respect their parents a
that
lot of times.
that's because the home training, the parenting, that's come from parenting. Those kids right there are going to be the ones that's going to be in the system by 15, 13. Scared to say, but that's why they be in and out of juvie. That's why they be calling you, talking about your kid did this, and you come pick him up.
Hmm.
And you're going to keep getting them calls, and you're going to keep getting in trouble, and he's going to keep hanging around with the wrong crowd. Because that's what he's going to be used to, because that's how he acts. And because you didn't get a hold of him. Simple.
So an ass whooping could have prevented this, is what you're saying?
Man, you know what? Yeah, even though I was in the streets, bro, I was actually a good kid. I
Right.
was the one that didn't just be out here just to be doing nothing. I was out here just to be making money. I saw weed. But yeah, I knew my consequences behind it. I knew everything behind it. Could have got robbed, could have got shot, could have got killed. Anything could have happened to me at a young age for just being out here in the streets. I knew it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I did get my ass whooped. I didn't get my mama hopped the curve on my black ass to try to run me over. So
That's
yeah,
love. That's love.
I done got hit with plastic bats, the little plastic baseball bats you get them sets you get the balls with, them fat with. Hey, she went slugger on my ass.
Ah, she's doing a royal tryout on you. Yeah. That was
But
love,
yeah,
though. That was love. Your mama loved you.
has she bailed me out a few times? Yeah, but I done got my ass whooped growing up. I sure the hell did. I didn't got beat up. I didn't got spent in dryers, washing machines. Hey, I got it all.
Look at the reality, though. Look at our culture, and I get upset at two things right now. In the reality, the first thing are those parents that are just mentally upset about discipline. They can't even conceive it. They feel like they're automatically abusive if they do it, and that just it doesn't add up to me.
You know what makes it abuse?
Mm,
It's kind of like raising a pit bull. How they say when if the dog pee as a puppy, don't hit him. It's
mm,
your fault.
mm.
But at the same time, it's kind of hurt. A ass whooping ain't gonna do nothing but hurt your kid's pride.
They're so opposed to it, though. Parents I see, especially on the internet, they get so upset. I would never do that to my kids. Like, you wouldn't? That makes no sense to me. You don't really love your kid. Isn't it spare the rod, spoil your child?
Just think about your pops catching you doing something wrong. He chastised you, or actually get in the streets because you thought you was big and bad enough
Mm.
with you and really fuck you up. That's all it is. It's an embarrassment and an upset and a reality check as we talking about right now. That loyalty, that
Yeah, yeah,
understanding, that teaching, that love.
yeah. It's that, and then the homework piece, because you just said it. You homeschool your kids, and they learn more in those 4 hours than they learn in the 8 at school. But most parents, the ones that are afraid of whooping their kids' ass, always have an issue with homework. Why are you giving my kid homework? You expect my child to learn at home?
Oh
What are you doing?
shit,
It's what
shit.
I
We still get these little niggas homework. Fuck them kids. Hey, you gonna do this and you gonna do that. We gonna get in these gloves. We gonna do some boxing training. We gonna do 1 2. We gonna work on these jabs and we gonna work on these overhand rights and lefts. We got it.
right.
On top of that, you gonna learn how to cook. We doing cooking ed.
That's holistic.
You little nigga, you cooking dinner tonight.
Right. That's how I grew up. That is exactly how I grew up. I learned to cook meals for myself, for my mother. I learned to do all them things at home, and I went to school. But they don't do that anymore. Parents are very opposed. Most parents I encounter are very opposed to that discipline, and you call it home training, home schooling, home education, home ec. They don't want anything at home, and it raises my awareness that there's something going on at home. We're letting our kids extend their comfort to us as adults, and I'm not cool with
bro, bro. It ain't a game. When I say we do boxing training, practice on boxing and stuff in here as well, we've been doing it all summer. I got the
it. You got
practice
little
mitts
seat
right
belts?
here.
Oh, you got the pads? Yeah.
Yeah, the pads. Even got
Mhm.
the gloves and everything. We've
Are
been
they
working
getting
on them.
good?
Huh?
They getting good? They throwing 5 and 6 combos?
And not yet. We still working on the 1 2. So I'm actually thinking about going to get a. I was get the chest pad, but I guess they never ordered because they canceled that order. I didn't
Mhm.
realize it. But I want to get the little chest and side pad so they can work on the bodies and stuff, so we can get to that, so they can start learning that as well. But I'm trying to get to the base, trying to get them to learn the basics first, the stands, whatever. So I guess I gotta get a little training things, little
You got two righties, don't you?
half steps, so they can learn how to hold in the little things, so they can learn how to hold that guard up, whatever. So
Hmm.
we gonna start with that first, and then get a little find a punching bag to go in the middle of the living room floor, so we can work on that.
What, a little
So
baby heavy bag?
yeah,
That's what's up. Man, I
so
appreciate you, doing that. Just giving these kids an outlet, giving these kids focus, giving them love. That's what's missing in so many households. And it's not enough. Well, fathers are getting better. Fathers
sure.
are,
I mean, hey, it got to the point, bro. People, I didn't tell all the other OGs around here. Look, I got a set of gloves and headgear. Any little niggas got in around this motherfucker got some problems. Ain't no point in pick up no gun. We can set a box, man. We can make a little boxing ring. Who got some? Go get 5 big long sticks and some a big long. I got some tape or something. We can make a. Go on, hop under here. Let's go.
Right. That's a different discipline, though, and I mean that's what young kids need because it changes everything. And I bet you they get closer and tighter, and they ain't gonna kill each other because they'll respect each other because they put their hands on each other.
And the point of trying to kill each other, because now guess what? I got one too, and you pull it, I'm gonna pull mine, and I guarantee you, I'm gonna shoot you before you up and try to shoot him. So, what you want to do? Y'all want to settle y'all beef right here in the homemade ring, or y'all want to just go ahead and do what y'all gonna do? Period.
I think that's a better solution than 90% of what's out there. It's a hard sell in our culture. The reality of it is that we will do everything in our power to prevent reconciliation like this.
Yeah,
crazy.
Why not? Go ahead and give him a minute 30 and let him go 3 rounds. The best out of 3 rounds, hey, that's who won the fight. Y'all did everything in every situation y'all had, and don't even do it again. If you come back again, we're gonna do it one more time. We're gonna do a real boxing. We're gonna do 2 minutes. I guarantee you, if you're smoking, you're gonna be winning by the first round. You ain't gonna want to do no more.
It's just so hard to get that off the ground. It's so hard. I mean, we've done training like that. I think you've probably seen my boy Doug. We had hundreds of young men where we've done things like this to keep the peace, and the outcomes are so much better with this. But that's not the traditional system, and it's just too bad. It's just sad that
it's just too bad. It's bad because I look at it like this. If you got all the little homies that really was really banging, feuding with somebody like that, and you put them in a facility where they was checked, where they couldn't bring no guns, got weighed in and everything else, and actually put them in the gloves and had everybody sit there and watch. Remember that ass whooping I was telling you about? How it'll humble you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Death of ego.
There you go. You get your ass whooped in front of everybody. It'll humble you.
Yeah. But these kids don't get humbled until they get killed. That's what I've seen. They don't ever
it's pride. It's their name, their respect, that loyalty that you was talking about, or we've been talking about.
Yeah. It's what young people need. And I think that when we get older and intelligentized or whatever it is, we feel we're so sophisticated. We don't give our kids what they need. We take away the basic tools that they need to develop.
Loyalty to these kids nowadays, because we talk to them too. Loyalty to these kids nowadays is we can be cool, we do our dirt, I'll flip on you to the feds the next minute.
Loyalty. You need every level. If you ain't got no loyalty, you ain't got no family, you ain't got no community. That's
loyalty. That's why they out here killing each other even more than we was out here killing each other growing up.
I don't get it though. They soft and they murderers.
And just like now, these little guys out here, they'll rob an old lady in the quickness. They'll rob an old man in the quickness. They'll beat up a little kid, and take their money in the quickness. Yeah. We was taught not to hit kids, old people, or touch a baby. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We was taught not to touch a elderly or kids. Period.
But the generations removed that because that's what they're about, is dissolving all that, killing the morality, trying to change things, but there's nothing to replace it.
I tell my 69, 70-year-old grandma all the time, you better keep that snub nose on you, baby. Keep one hand in the purse at all times. Keep one hand in the purse.
Judge.
No, she got it. I ain't bought her nothing. That 38 bro, hey, Hey, she keep that 38 on the hey.
Yeah,
That 38 special revolver be in that mother. Hey.
but you need it nowadays, though. It's crazy
Yeah,
because, like you said, these little punks they target old people and babies, man. The opposite of what we grew up on.
yeah.
It's wild.
Wild as
I
hell.
hope there's reconciliation. I just hope that we can get to a better spot, and I really hope that they make better decisions. I don't know how to
I
get there.
tell I tell everybody, and I tell you right now, let your one of your kids try to rob me and
You ain't
don't
playing
take
the
my
field.
pistol or anything, and I give everything out of my pocket. Because where I keep my shit, you ain't gonna know it's on me.
Damn.
You ain't gonna know it's on me. I'll give you my wallet, and that's all I got, player. That I ain't got everything is in there, bank card and all. You want the bank number, passcode, six. The other one is and I ain't gonna feel no sorry. I ain't gonna feel no regards. I'm gonna go home and sleep like a baby. I don't care if he was 15, 16. Hey, he had a gun. He tried to up on me like that, like he did.
Yep. It's sad, man. They in DC and New Orleans and all the major American cities, it's like 13-year-old kids doing stuff like robbing Kansas City. They be robbing cars, they be robbing old people. It's just a lack of that code. They're doing things backwards. There's no morality, and they're just devastating our communities, hurting families.
Man,
But we gotta get to a better spot. I mean, that's just the nature of things. So I mean, I hope that it comes within this generation. If not, I think we're guaranteed it to be the next. Because I don't see how things could really devolve to being worse. I just pray that they continue to get better.
man, I just pray everything, continues to get better. But we
I
can only hope.
That's all we can do is hope and pray and wait.
Yeah,
I attached a link. I posted it on this YouTube channel to your channel to Spotlight Podcast. I think that you probably have a lot of content probably coming out here soon. Is there anything that we should be looking out for, waiting for?
man. I honestly, I'm gonna try to bring out something tonight. I
All
gotta
right.
think something. I've been busy. I actually been working 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week. So it's been hard for me to actually get people to come in and interview. I actually been trying to uh get a couple of interviews in so I can make some more content. But after we get out this little stretch of these 12 hours, I'm gonna try to do something. But honestly, uh I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I ain't gonna make no promises to everyone, but I'm gonna try to see if I can drop one tonight. I'm gonna see if I can get one edited and you know out
Uploaded
myself
and
and
all that tonight.
yeah.
That sounds
So
like something that we should definitely be on the lookout for. If you don't catch the one tonight and you're ready to catch some of the content that's already out there, there's hours, hundreds of hours, if I'm not mistaken, of amazing content on this platform. So I would encourage anybody to get on Spotlight Podcast. I posted the link on this YouTube channel. The brothers is making some great content. They got a
yeah,
amazing brotherhood going on, and I love watching y'all and just interacting with y'all anytime I can.
yeah. I try my best, but yeah. Just like on Spotlight, I got a boxer actually just had a boxing match on his first pay-per-view boxing match on
That's dope.
last night on that Waters card, Dante Waters
What?
card. Yeah, so I got an interview with him. He's on there with my cousin, me and my cousin. So everybody can go check that one out. I'll advise you go check that one out since he won his first pay-per-view match.
Shout him
Uh,
out. Who's the homie? What's his name?
uh, John Ironman Cantrell. John
All right.
Ironman Cantrell.
Yeah. John
Uh,
Cantrell got them heads.
he is now 14-0. He is 14 in the USA. And he
It's
been
a bad
calling out Jake Paul a lot on Facebook. I've been seeing, but he
That's a
been not that.
payday. That's a payday. I don't even know if he can fight, but he ain't. What, he lost one time?
Huh, Jake
I think
Paul?
he only dropped one. Jake Paul lost one.
I believe so.
Who beat? I forget who beat Jake Paul, but I think he Fury. Don't give me a line. I think he dropped one. He dropped one fight. I think. I don't know if I might claim
Yeah.
him as the hottest boxer out right now, but that's a payday. If you in the game, that's who you want to go at. If you can get a fight against him, promotion's gonna take care of itself. So I
Yeah, I
hope
got a
that man gets one.
But yeah, I got him on there. I got a few uh overseas interview. I got a guy, a known actress, a known London actress.
Okay.
I interviewed. Um, I had someone, this lady from Africa that I interviewed. I have another one from he was a integration. He saved integrations, help people find their loved ones and stuff like that. But he was from Denmark.
That's cool. That's cool. Norwegian.
So So
He's
I got
rich.
that one in there. I also got a lovely lady. I forget her names. Just two lovely ladies. Matter of fact, I have a lady that does insurance. She was a good interview. That was actually a phone call. First phone call I did. It was another one. I forget her name. Um, that I interviewed. She does consultants for book actors, artists, not actors, artists, and musicians. She
Mm-hmm.
makes sure people don't get robbed and out their contracts, stuff like that. And her story was very interesting because she came a long way from addiction and having lupus and stuff like that, being robbed from being the author from her book, and the book company had shut down and closed, and she never got her money and got paid. So it was
Mm.
very interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm s- I got several people I interviewed that's not even out yet. I just want to get out. I interviewed another lady, but I've been trying to put them out in order.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I did
it's
your
I
unlocking potential episode with John. Unlocking your potential was the one I shared. I think that was one that was pretty good. I think it was pretty decently received. And love the content.
probably probably. But yeah, it's I just love interviewing people, loving their backgrounds, loving their stories. You know, just love seeing where they came from, how they grew up, where they grew up at, just to see how it was. Like I had one interview where a guy was an addict. He was an actual rock band, actually traveled with known rock bands, like metal rock bands, throughout his way, and kind of fell off from addictions. Now he owns the whole company.
That's a come up. That's how you turn that
So
situation around.
now, yeah. So it's I'm about to get back to it once these hours drop down. We get back to our 10-hour shifts and stuff like that. But yeah, hope I can find some more people to interview. But I just love hearing the stories, like the questions and I ask and how they answer them. It's just like wow.
It's a
I
lot
could
of
tell
wisdom.
people. You could tell people came a long way.
Yeah, it's a lot of wisdom, man. Like I love it. Just interacting with people, hearing how they handle their situations, and then when people find that out the box reaction, puts me on game, makes me want to do things differently. So I love it. I love it a lot, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I hope that anybody listening to this interview checks y'all out on Meta Platform, Spotlight Podcast. It's so much amazing content. Just seeing, just seeing how you interact with people is motivational. It really is. It's inspirational. So I appreciate you doing your hard work, man. I hope that you continue to do that and give me great content to watch.
Yeah, thank you.
And definitely check out themodernblackman.com. Check me out on Meta platforms. I'm on X. I'm on everything smoking at Chubby Idris Elba. And until our next episode, peace.